The murders of Abby and Libby went unsolved for years, more than 5 to be exact. Libby and Abby went to the Monon High Trail that Monday. They were off school. Other people were on the bridge that day as well. Prosecutor Nick McClellan says there is one person who murdered Abby and Libby, and there's video of him.
Tonight, we're getting a new view of an unsolved crime 4 years after it shocked the city of Delphi. Police there are still trying to figure out who killed Abby Williams and Libby German.
Tonight, as our Rich Van Wyk explains, the girls' families are hoping that there's this new online video that can help lead investigators to their killer.
The real video of the suspected killer walking toward Libby and Abby, transformed by three-dimensional augmented reality technology, gives a lifelike look to the nearly 4-year-old crime. The original video, sketches of the suspect, a $225,000 reward, and more than 50,000 tips haven't led police to the girl's killer.
The tragic murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German, often referred to as the Delphi murders. At the heart of this heartbreaking story are 2 young girls, Abigail Williams and Liberty German. Abby, as her friends lovingly called her, was a 13-year-old with a creative spirit and a love for reading. She was known for her artistic talents and her kind, compassionate nature. Always with a sketchbook in hand, Abby dreamed of becoming an artist, filling her world with colors and imagination. Libby, on the other hand, was a 14-year-old with a boundless energy and a knack for technology. She was an avid photographer and loved spending her time capturing moments through her camera lens. Known for her athletic prowess, Libby was a softball player who showed dedication and determination both on and off the field. Together, these 2 best friends were inseparable, sharing dreams, laughter, and a friendship that seemed unbreakable. On February 13th, 2017, for many, it was just another day. But for Abigail Williams and Liberty German, it was an adventure, a chance to explore the Monon High Bridge Trail and enjoy a day off from school. Shortly after being dropped off by Libby's older sister Kelsey, the girls made their way to the Monon High Bridge, an old, abandoned railroad bridge that towers over Deer Creek. The bridge, though daunting, was a popular spot for hiking and taking photos. At 2:07 p.m., Libby captured a photograph of Abby walking across the bridge and shared it on Snapchat. This innocent photo, showing Abby confidently striding forward, would become a haunting reminder of their last moments of carefree joy. As the afternoon wore on, Abby and Libby were supposed to meet Libby's father at the trailhead around 3:15 p.m. But when the girls didn't show up, concern quickly set in. Calls to their cell phones went unanswered, and their family members began to worry. By 5:30 p.m., with no sign of the girls, the families decided to contact the police. This marked the beginning of a frantic search that would engulf the entire town. The search efforts were immediate and intense. Friends, family members, and local residents joined forces with law enforcement to scour the trails and surrounding areas. They navigated the rough terrain, calling out Abby and Libby's names, in the hope that they were simply lost and would soon be found. The search continued late into the night, but as darkness fell, the cold reality of the situation began to sink in. Despite their best efforts, the search teams found no trace of the girls that night. The thick woods and the cold, dark air made the task daunting, but the community's resolve remained unbroken. The morning of February 14, 2017, the search for Abby and Libby resumed. Volunteers, law enforcement officers, and family members once again took to the trails and surrounding areas, their hearts heavy with concern but hopeful for a positive outcome. The search efforts intensified as the day progressed, with teams scouring every possible hiding spot. Then, at approximately 12:15 p.m., a group of volunteers made a grim discovery. Near the edge of Deer Creek, just a short distance from the Monon High Bridge, the lifeless bodies of Abigail Williams and Liberty German were found. The 2 young girls have been brutally murdered. The area where the girls' bodies were discovered was quickly cordoned off, and the search for answers began. The community's worst fears had been realized, and the news spread like wildfire, casting a dark shadow over Delphi. The serene landscape of the Monon High Bridge Trail had transformed into the site of an unspeakable tragedy, leaving everyone grappling with a mix of sorrow, shock, and anger. The small town of Delphi found itself in the national spotlight, with news reporters covering the story and the public anxiously awaiting any developments. The discovery of Abby and Libby's bodies not only devastated their families, but also ignited a fierce determination within the community to seek justice. Vigils and memorials were quickly organized, with hundreds of people coming together to honor the lives of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. The girls' families, though heartbroken, found strength in the overwhelming support and love from friends, neighbors, and strangers alike. In the days and weeks that followed, investigators meticulously combed through the crime scene, gathering evidence and following up on leads. Every detail was crucial, and nothing could be overlooked in the pursuit of justice for Abby and Libby. Among the most significant pieces of evidence were the video and audio recordings found on Libby's phone. These recordings, captured by Libby's quick thinking, provided crucial clues that would become the focal point of the investigation. The video showed a man walking towards the girls on the Monon High Bridge. Though grainy and unclear, the footage, combined with the chilling audio of a man saying, "Guys, down the hill," painted a harrowing picture of the final moments before the girls were taken. This evidence, though fragmentary, was a testament to Libby's bravery and quick thinking in the face of imminent danger. Appeals for public assistance were widespread, with investigators urging anyone with information to come forward. Investigators later on released the video and audio evidence to the public, with the hope that someone would recognize the man's voice or gait, leading to his identification and capture. To aid in this effort, police released several composite sketches based on the descriptions provided by witnesses and the analysis of the video footage. Behind the scenes, investigators were meticulously analyzing every piece of evidence available. Forensic experts examined the crime scene, looking for any clues that might have been left behind. DNA evidence, though limited, was collected and analyzed, and investigators followed up on numerous tips and leads from the public. The process was painstakingly slow, but each step brought them closer to the truth. As investigations went on, it was found that a fake social media account was found to be in contact with one of the girls, which happened to be a 27-year-old Indiana man, Keegan Klein. Klein was later arrested and accused of creating the Anthony Shots profile, which he allegedly used to communicate with underage girls and solicit nude images. This account, active from 2016 to 2017 on platforms like Snapchat and Instagram, portrayed a wealthy individual with numerous sports cars to lure juvenile females. Despite being jailed on 30 charges unrelated to the murders, including child exploitation, child pornography, obstruction of justice, and child solicitation, Klein denied any involvement in the deaths of Abigail and Liberty. He maintains that he did not communicate with the victims and has cooperated with investigators, providing hair samples and other evidence. Klein admitted to creating the account in a probable cause affidavit filed in August 2020, but he has not been named a person of interest or suspect in the double homicide. Throughout the investigation, law enforcement held numerous press conferences to update the public on their progress and renew their appeals for information. Despite the passage of time, the determination to solve this case never waned. Nearly 5 years after the tragic deaths of Abby and Libby, investigators made a significant breakthrough in the case. In October 2022, Richard Allen, a local resident, was arrested and charged with the murders of Abby and Libby. This arrest marked a pivotal moment in the investigation, bringing a renewed sense of hope and a step closer to justice for the families. Richard Allen's arrest was the result of relentless efforts by law enforcement, who had been meticulously piecing together evidence and following up on leads for years. The announcement of his arrest came as a shock to many, as Allen had lived in Delphi for years and was known to some in the community. His arrest brought a mix of emotions: relief, anger, and a rekindling of hope that justice would finally be served for Abby and Libby. As the news of Richard Allen's arrest spread, details about his connection to the case began to emerge. A crucial piece of evidence was the grainy video recorded by Libby on her cell phone as she and Abby crossed the abandoned railroad bridge. Prosecutors argued that the man seen in the video was Richard Allen. The video, though unclear, provided a visual link to the suspect, and the chilling audio of the man saying, "Guys, down the hill," became a key element in identifying Allen as the perpetrator. Forensic evidence also played a significant role in the case. A .40 caliber unspent round found near the girls' bodies was linked to Allen's gun. This ballistic evidence provided a tangible connection between Allen and the crime scene, further strengthening the case against him. Additionally, Indiana State Police Master Trooper Brian Harshman testified that the voice of the bridge guy captured on Libby's cell phone was indeed Richard Allen's. This expert testimony, combined with the other pieces of evidence, painted a compelling picture of Allen's guilt. One of the most damning pieces of evidence was Allen's own confessions. He confessed to the murders in person, on the phone, and in writing.
When Richard Allen was being held in a state prison 6 months after his arrest for the killings of Abby Williams and Libby German near the Monon High Bridge on February 13, 2017, he made lots of phone calls to his mother and his wife in the spring of 2023. During those calls to Kathy Allen, Richard said, quote, "I killed Abby and Libby," and his wife answered, "No, you didn't." Said Allen, "I think I did." Said Kathy, "They are messing with your mind." On May 10th, Allen told his wife, "I think maybe I lost my mind. I need you to know I did this." Kathy Allen answered, "You are not well." A month later, Allen told Kathy, "I did it. Do you still love me?" She answered, "Yes, dear, but you didn't do it. You can't call me and talk like this."
These confessions were a critical component of the prosecution's case against him. For the families of Abby and Libby, each court appearance was a painful reminder of the tragedy, but also a crucial step towards achieving justice. In November 2024, after a long and emotional journey, Richard Allen was found guilty of the murders of Abigail Williams and Liberty German. The verdict was met with a mix of relief, sorrow, and a sense of closure for the community. The guilty verdict marked a significant milestone in the pursuit of justice for Abby and Libby. It was a testament to the dedication of law enforcement, the resilience of the families, and the unwavering support of the community. While the pain of their loss could never be erased, the verdict brought a measure of peace and a reaffirmation that justice had been served. The Delphi murders case has come to a point where Richard Allen being found guilty of killing Abby Williams and Libby German. Even though no solid DNA evidence connected Allen to the crime, the prosecution used other evidence, like a bullet linked to his gun and confessions he made in custody. His lawyers argued that he confessed in custody under duress, and also he was having a mental breakdown. People are divided over the verdict. If Allen is guilty, it means justice has finally been served for the girls and their families. But if he's innocent, it means a terrible mistake was made, punishing the wrong person while the real killer remains free. This case shows how complicated and emotional the search for truth and justice can be. For the families of Abby and Libby, Richard Allen's arrest was a bittersweet development. While they felt a sense of relief that a suspect was finally in custody, the pain of losing their daughters remained ever present. The story of Abigail Williams and Liberty German is one of tragedy, courage, and the unyielding pursuit of justice. Their memory continues to inspire the world to seek the truth and protect the innocent. Thank you for watching this episode of True Crime Uncovered. If you found this story impactful, please like this video, comment below with your thoughts, and subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay safe.